80 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Primetime. Featuring Joe C.
I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing says football like scented soap.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Well, that may be the perfect segue because it was kind of soft yesterday. A little Bed Bath & Beyond, as Big Searcy likes to describe it, because this football team, the one that played inside Trevor Bank Stadium yesterday, looked a little soft once again. And there's so many things to point to, and that's why you're here. XL Primetime, Mokama Beer Company Monday, and we definitely are here to help, I don't know, apply the salve to the wounds, be a counselor, just listen, big group hug, whatever it might be. But Big Searcy, we now have a football team that has started 0-2, and this one was ugly.
And deservingly so.
Ugly.
Yes, absolutely. Deservingly so. I mean, to come out and play the way they play, the home opener with lack of life, lack of energies, lack of commitment, lack of execution is unexplainable, inexcusable for the type of energy that the fan base brought to that stadium Sunday afternoon. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what was going on with them. I mean, you're talking about an offensive team collectively that 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, Trevor Lawrence was 5 of 12 for 16 yards.
Had 16 yards in the first half.
Yes.
And so then you just went past that.
I went past that.
Still didn't have.
Didn't have it. That's just crazy to me. Listen, we was on the fifth quarter yesterday, and everybody was talking about the play call and this. That has nothing to do with the play call. Now, eventually, somebody's got to line up and put on their big boy pants and get it done and block somebody and get somebody blocked. This offensive line is soft without a T. Yes, SOF. Non-physical, non-get after it, afraid at sometimes. And listen, it was one particular time when I'm watching the game, the left guard, the center, and the right guard on different plays got ran over. Got ran over on run plays and pass protection plays.
Well, I
told you. I mean, listen, I told you interiorly, those two guys that were interiorly, I don't even care about their name, know their name, but they're dump trucks. They're big and physical, and that's what we struggle with. We struggle with big and physical guys. And on the end, we're no better at the tackle position. I mean, listen, I know Jerry Allen. I know that Myles Garrett is a dog, all right, a pit bull. I know that, but Cam Robertson, you're at home. You have the competitive advantage, knowing the snap count.
Exactly.
And he still beats you around the corner.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
And by the way, Cam whiffing on a pull.
Twice.
More than once.
Twice, bro.
So look, there's so much. You can hear a frustrated Big Searcy, and here's a guy who's played it at a high level, and you guys want to see high-level play from your football team. And this team, at the very least, was supposed to come into this game feeling like they had taken a step forward. The new product of 2024, it was going to be improved, and you got none of that yesterday. There's a few things that we can start off with, and if you guys want to jump in, real easy to do. 641-1010, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We've got our pop-off line open and available, real easy. If you just want to go on for a minute, 207-7071. That's the pop-off line. You can call it. RJ has got it. If you need the number, just call him. He will give it to you. But you can definitely jump in and give us some of your thoughts. But the Cam Robinson, Ezra Cleveland, Brandon Sheriff, Mitch Morse, you can go down the line. Anton Harrison gets hurt in this game, which also was certainly the last thing you wanted to see. The offensive line, and I'm just going to bow to Matt Hayes, who's missing today. He's working on a college football story. He'll hopefully be back with us tomorrow. He's probably chasing that emergency meeting that maybe the Board of Trustees had in Gainesville. I don't know. I don't know. He might be chasing that. But anyway, this offensive line right now is one of the fails that this football team is suffering from. It ain't the only fail.
No, but here's the thing. I can't unsee what I saw last year. Last game of the season against Tennessee Titans, this offensive line that played as a group for the first time was terrible, all right? So we were told in the offseason, we're good. We're going to make this one change at this one position that we struggle with. We brought in Mitch Morse. Now everything else, we're supposed to be good. That is not the case. We've been sold a bag of goods from the front office and GM, head coach, offensive line coach that this offensive line is good, and it's not. It is not. And some of the play calling is predictable. Listen, when you're offensive coordinator, the only time you can run predictable plays is when you got the horses up front to block it regardless.
Right.
Regardless, like Detroit Lions, when they played they played the Rams last Monday night, whatever it was, they ran the ball 7 out of 8 times. They say, there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to run the ball in this overtime and get the hell up out of here. Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
And got in the end zone for 6.
The fans complaining about the play calling is that it's too predictable. I can agree with that. And I think for whatever reason, we think that we have the horses up front to get it done when we do not.
Yeah. The thing that gets me is that you have some of those moments in these games where you have big plays, where you are moving with the arm of Trevor Lawrence or Travis Etienne out of the backfield, whatever the case might be. And there were little pockets of that. But you cannot get away from an offense at home, ladies and gentlemen, at home, at the bank, first 6 plays, 3 and out, 3 and out. You let the Cleveland Browns hold the football for the majority of the first quarter. When the first quarter ended, I took a snap of the stats up on the big Jumbotron. 15 total yards, 1 first down for your Jaguars. That was it. Yeah. Okay, so 2 3 and outs, and then you let Deshaun Watson, who the entire city of Cleveland was thinking about benching after game 1 against the Dallas Cowboys, you let him come in here and basically have his way where he could extend plays. You couldn't account for him. They left the middle of the field open too many times where whenever the play broke down, he would just take off and run and improvise. You let Jerome Ford run on you, let Judy and Moore and hell, Amari Cooper didn't even need to make plays with the way the other guys were making plays.
What Amari had? 1 catch, 5 yards, something like that crazy?
And dropped one.
Why is it that Duval is the place where players come and resuscitate their careers? I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, Deshaun Watson, what I saw last week against the Dallas Cowboys, they were ready to shelf him. Yeah. 6 sacks, 17 pressures. A countless of mistakes, inability to run the football. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys just submerged him in that whole game. And I'm thinking, the talent that we've got up front, with Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker and Eric Armstead, I just thought we was going to get after him. It was far from what I was expecting defensively for us to do. But granted, the defense, when you're going through 16 plays, touchdown, and then you got 11 plays, and a field goal, that's a long haul, bro.
Yeah,
that's a long haul.
It is. And so your offense did not help your defense at all in the beginning of this ball game. And then they did catch fire here and there. They had a chance to make plays. And look, we can go down this stat sheet. We can really start to drill down on some real problem areas. But think about the essence of what happened in these first 2 ball games. 30 minutes of football against Miami. They held a high-powered offensive attack that was second in the league in points per game last year, first in the league in yards per game last year. They held them to 7 points. So they held them to 1 score. In the first half of that game, they lose 20-17. This game, they hold the Cleveland Browns to 3 points in the second half of this game. So that's 60 minutes of football where they've given up 2 scores to 2 teams, and they are on the losing end of both of them. They gave up less than 3 touchdowns in either one of these games and are 0-2.
Joe, you know what? We can't even win an ugly win. Both teams were horrible, bad,
beatable.
Bad. Both were beatable. I'm talking about this game against the Browns. That was ugly football. Yeah, that was ugly football on both sides. The Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we can't even win an ugly game. That's how bad we dipped. We can't even win an ugly game. The Cleveland Browns were 2 of 14 on third down conversions. They had over 12 penalties. I mean, they did nothing really stellar. I mean, they gave us every opportunity to somehow steal this game, and we still couldn't find a way to do it.
All right, so you guys jump in. We'll do a little 10 seconds to pop off, 641-1010 if you guys want to jump in. The most frustrating thing for you, where does the blame lie? Is it Doug? Is it Press? Is it Trev? You can go on and on and on, wherever the offensive line, wherever you want. 641-1010 if you guys want to jump in. We will try and do a little 10 seconds to pop off coming up here in just a second. But as far as where to start, there's a laundry list of problems, and your football team is now facing a red-hot Buffalo Bills team, even though they lost a bunch of guys on extra rest after paddling Miami, and they get to have a home Monday night game with the Mafia all there waiting for Jacksonville to roll up into New York. And then after that, you got a 2-0 Houston Texans team that looks pretty good right now. The AFC South, 3 teams are a collective 0-6, and the Houston Texans have a 2-game lead on all of them.
Yeah, bro, they could possibly wrap up the division by Thanksgiving. If we continue down this road.
All right, give us some hope if you can. I don't know. I'm not in the business of hope today. You can rip away if you want, but it may be that. It may be that by the time you get to Thanksgiving. I don't know. All right, 641-1010, a Mokama Beer Company Monday. Mokama, they certainly can help any day of the week serving great coffee. And then Tuesday through Sunday serving that great craft. You'll find them on South 8th Street in beautiful Fernandina Beach and also Wildlight as well. 2 great locations up there. And then on the shelves at ABC or Total, check out Mokama. Let's get it going. 641-1010. 10 seconds to pop off coming up.
When you just can't take it anymore, or when you absolutely have to have your say, hit the pop-off line. 207-70-71 and let it fly. Even the best teams can lose steam when their best players end up on the sidelines.
In case you haven't noticed, our receiver corps is decimated.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farrah and Farrah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
It's part of the game, though, you know?
On 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The seasons are shifting, but we're not done with the summer heat just yet. And you better believe your AC is still working hard. So do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services and stay stress-free with a seasonal tune-up. Don't wait until the wear and tear of the summer heat causes major issues. Book your tune-up with Fenwick's expert technicians to avoid those costly breakdowns. You can trust Fenwick to get your AC running again and get it done right the first time. Book online at FenwickHomeservices.com.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and X to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Tyson Sound and Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call 762-1000. Tyson Sound and Security, hiring a master electrician with residential experience, offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply, 762-1000.
Equal opportunity employer.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
It's soccer around the world, and here at home on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour on 1010XL. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 AM.
Daily
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Britton Strange was fantastic for Jacksonville on Sunday. The 6'3" tight end was targeted 6 times against Cleveland and tallied 3 receptions for 65 yards. His exceptional play on the field may land him more opportunities throughout the year, and it seems he'll be ready each time his number is called. Britton Strange is your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Universal Roof and Contracting has been protecting Florida homes from the elements for over 30 years. Call Universal Roof and Contracting today for a free roof inspection and get 15% off your roof repair or replacement. Plus, flexible financing options and payments as low as $115 a month. This offer expires September 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP.
License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. This is a one-of-a-kind Gabriel fashion sale.
Rings, bracelets, earrings.
All new for 2024.
For 3 days only.
September 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
This is Corona Premier. It's the light beer you didn't know was a light beer. Until right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
One of the First Coast breweries. We love them, that's for sure. Appreciate all y'all for hanging out with us. You could do it either on the apps through the beautiful FM or AM signal. You can stream. You can go to the My Bookie Digital Studios and find us there on YouTube as well. And you can go back and watch the whole show anytime you want. Just search XL Primetime. We appreciate it. Joe C., Big Leon Searcy, and RJ. We got Matt in action with his USA Today sports gig, but he will be back tomorrow. We'll hopefully hear from him a little bit later on, because what was going on in our thread was talking about the fails for this football team. The offensive line, it was not lost on the Cleveland Browns that it was renamed Trevor Bank for a day. I didn't think it was a big deal, Leon. I'm just going to admit it. I didn't think it was a big deal. And anything you can use as bulletin board material, I suppose that's what you do. Right?
And it did, absolutely. I mean, RJ, you sent me that post on X where the defense took it personally. Yeah. That's like scheduling a team for homecoming. You know, homecoming is is supposed to be the weakest link. When you rename the stadium Trevor Banks Stadium, when the Cleveland Browns coming up, of course, it's billing board material.
But here's the thing. If you schedule a team for homecoming and you're good, you beat them.
You beat them, absolutely.
If you do a sponsor opportunity and you name Trevor Bank for a day, if you're good, you beat them.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks. All right, listen, 641-1010. We'll fire through a few pop-off calls. Pop-off is real simple. It's 10 seconds. We want you to get it out. Be good at what you do. This is your craft, your opportunity. 641-1010. We'll try and do it a couple times today. So let's get to it because we know you're frustrated. Let's get Daniel up first to start us off. Daniel, you got 10 seconds to pop off.
I love Doug, man, but I'm tired of Press, and I feel like it's what got pushed him out of Philly. And if he can't move on from Press, then I don't know what we're going to do with this play calling.
All right, thank you, dude. Here's the thing. I'm really trying to wrestle with this, and you said earlier, Leon, that it's not necessarily a play calling problem. Look, I've seen plays that need to be made that should be made by good football players. And I know you might be able to poke holes in some of the things that Press is doing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it comes down to execution. I mean, when I was in Pittsburgh, we might have had 5 running plays, and we ran them effectively. You know why we ran them effectively? Because we had studs up front. Yeah. We didn't have to have these elaborate type of plays or whatever. We knew what we did good. We knew we got after people. Yeah. And if you knew what we were running, so what? We're going to run it anyway. That's when you know you got the horses up front. You can execute at a very high level. Listen, I'm a player. I believe that players make plays. Mm-hmm. When you make that call, no coordinator goes in and says, I'm gonna make this call because I know it's not going to work. Yeah. No, who does that?
That is a good way to look at it. Look, I'm just thinking yesterday there was a play call that had Gabe Davis wide open on one of the early opportunities in the first quarter, and Trevor sailed it over his head.
He did.
Okay, and that is a player problem right there. All right, let's get Charlie up next. Charlie, you've dialed it. You got 10 seconds to pop off.
Yes, sir. I got one for you, fellas. What say we get the boys up to the line of scrimmage and ready to go before the play clock gets down to 6 seconds? Huh?
Not a bad idea at all, Charlie. True. Not a bad. And more than anything else, it happens in the most important situations. Mm-hmm. It's when you need it the most, and you have made. Well, let's just use the scramble from Trevor, a big play down the field, and then all of a sudden, success happens, and you don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, and there's no sense of urgency. I mean, those delay games or having to call those timeouts before the delay game, no sense of urgency. There should be call the play. First of all, get the play in on time. Yeah. All right, call the play. Break the huddle, run to the line of scrimmage, get down, get set, let's go. Mm-hmm. Well, what's the holdup? It's like they got shopping carts and they going in the grocery store ordering. Picking out items. It's like, what the hell you walk into the line of scrimmage from? Yeah. Run to the line of scrimmage, get down, and let's go play some ball.
Yeah, the only way you win guys' grocery games is by being good and fast.
Exactly.
All right, let's get Chris up next. Chris is going to be fast here. He's got 10 seconds to pop off. You've dialed it, Chris. Hit it. All right, RJ, hit Chris right there. There you go, Chris. 10 seconds to pop off.
Hey, guys, I know it's too soon to be talking draft, but it's not too soon to say that time is coming soon. And I thought Brent Strange was the offensive player. No, everybody was just offensive yesterday. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. Offensive is a good way to put it. I did not. I may throw you off the show if you bring up draft again, but the offensive line saved you because, honestly, I dig what you're saying. They're looking for – any fan out there is looking for better players. And you can go through the draft and the free agency, and I'll be the first to admit that I glossed on a few of these guys thinking that the product was going to be better. And right now we haven't seen enough guys basically pulling their weight on this football team. And it could be from a draft perspective. It could be from a Trent Baalke perspective, and it could be from a game planning perspective.
But here's the thing. What's their alternative? As bad as we are, they're irreplaceable. Because of the depth.
Yeah, right now you got to roll.
You got to roll with them. They got to play better. Whatever you need to do to get them, motivated to play better, to execute better. This is what you have. You don't have anybody. You don't have anybody that you can replace. I mean, Walker Little maybe, but I mean, that's not the end all.
No,
that's not.
But I would not mind right now, and I'm going to ask you this offensive line question coming up in just a little bit. But it's a delicate balance because you got to challenge Cam to be a leader, a man, a productive player. He might be looking for another job next year, so he needs to play well. But right now he's not playing well. And so I'm going to ask you the question whether we should sit him down and go with Walker Little coming up here in a second. Let's get David up next. You've dialed it at 641-1010. David, 10 seconds to pop off.
Cam Robinson, lazy run blocking, not finishing the blocks. Fans too quiet. I can hear Deshaun the whole game. Let's don't have to rename this stadium Neverbank. Let's turn this thing around.
All right, thank you, David. That's another one. I heard plenty of those. Trevor Blank, I heard a bunch of them yesterday as far as what was going down, but never. Yeah, that's another bad one. But yeah, it was eerily quiet for a long time, and then obviously when the defense would step up and make a play, but it was just too often that you did see Deshaun and the Browns operating, and you're looking around like I'm not going to put this on the crowd because. This is a football problem as opposed to a fan problem.
The fans were in shock.
Yeah,
that this team on opening day could play this badly. I mean, I would be in shock as well. I would be quiet as well. I mean, it wasn't good from start to finish.
And look, I like seeing the fans before the game. Mm-hmm. Always like seeing them get riled up, partying. A bunch of XL Primetimers are out there enjoying it. They're all jagged up, ready to go, and they get that.
Yeah, give me something to celebrate.
Yeah.
On either side of the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been quiet too.
Yeah, it's got to be better. Let's get Steve up next. Steve, you've dialed 641-1010. 10 seconds to pop off.
Well, they did the impossible. They've got underneath Trevor's skin, and now he's angry. I'm telling you what, Doug, put your ego aside. Go back to the quick game. I don't care how many people hate it. At least we can get them in a rhythm because we don't have the horses to block for a deep shot.
All right, thank you, Steve. I can't disagree. I feel like when we're coming through training camp, and I'm seeing what I thought was a short passing game. I thought there was going to be an evolution here. I thought Christian Kirk would be a hell of a lot more involved in the first couple of games. Mm-hmm. Now, he had opportunities opening Sunday and had a couple of key drops. We know how big those were. But at the same time, the quick game, not asking your offensive line to basically protect for slow developing plays. Now, I'm going to see if I can find the numbers. He still had a decent amount of time to get rid of the football and did not make – he either made poor decisions or did not make good throws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, collectively as offensive line, you're thinking that you're supposed to give your quarterback at least 2.5 seconds. 3 at the most, but 2.5. And Trevor has a tendency to hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he goes through his progressions or whatever, but sometimes you just gotta let it fly. You can't worry about making mistakes. You gotta have a little bit more confidence in your accuracy and your ability to get the ball there and holding on to the ball when you got an offensive line who struggles with. I knew they were going to struggle with this defensive front because this defensive front is big and physical. Right. Now they went up against a Dolphins line last week. That wasn't not as physical, but these guys, these brutes up front, I knew they were going to get after them pretty good in the pass rushing game. And I knew that if our inability to run the football and makes it one-dimensional, that was going to be even more trouble on Trevor.
All right. We'll try and sneak one more in, then we'll try and get back to you guys coming up in just a bit. 10 seconds to pop off. We always want you guys to have your say on Mondays. Let's get Vic up here real quick. Vic, 10 seconds to pop off.
Jags fans, I got the solution. We have to dial down our expectations so the disappointment can match the performance.
Thank you, man. Yeah, listen, from time to time, I've told TLD, the lovely Diane, to just don't expect too much from me, okay? Just expect a little bit less and you'll be more excited. And so I understand. I'm working on that at home. But all of Duval, they don't need to work on that, okay?
No, don't lower the bar.
Yeah.
No, hold them to a higher standard. Absolutely. Hold them to a higher standard. And when they don't perform at that higher standard, call their behinds out.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing right now. Yeah. XL Primetime. You guys can keep it going. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. We'll try and get another 10 seconds to pop off coming up in a bit. If you're still fired up, you can dial 707-7071. Leave a recording. That way you'll hear your voice on the air a little bit later on a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
When I say Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned has big selection, I mean it's huge. Mia here, not 100, not even 500, over 600 vehicles in one location. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18K. Plus, you get 60 days to love it or exchange it. 60 days. And Arlington's Credit for Everyone program is here to help you get financed. Shop Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations: Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook served up a nice outing for himself in Duval. The 29-year-old punter averaged 52 yards on his 3 punts in the contest, with his longest going 55 yards. When it comes to the punting king in the NFL, you can bet number 9 is wearing that crown. Logan Cook is your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
We're back. Mia here, and winning season is back. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions, like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. That's just the beginning, folks. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for your shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, just use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Not to mention, loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. Climb through tiers of loyalty rewards programs to unlock even more epic promotions. Only with MyBookie.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality products. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway at Pella Windows and Doors.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 16, 1995, Atlanta Braves legendary pitcher Greg Maddux sets a major league record by achieving his 17th consecutive road game victory.
Are you feeling the heat? It's time to cool things down with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Contact us today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Duck Air Conditioning to keep you cool and comfortable all year round.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
If your IT, data security, and your office copiers are operating perfectly, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, as your technology partner.
Advanced Business Solutions.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes Summers here, so let's talk about something sizzling, making a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile, vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others online at Awaken180weightloss.com. That's Awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Hayes Carlion for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing Prize Picks lately, and I have no idea why I waited so long. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million active members. And beyond that, it's a blast to play. It's easy, it's exciting, and it makes those college and NFL games so much more exciting to watch. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats and watch your winnings roll in. This week, I've got Vikings quarterback Sam Arnold throwing for less than 229.5 yards and Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson rushing for less than 39.5 yards. It's just that easy. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code JAX on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. It's all there, Prize Picks. Run your game.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars' first-round pick, Brian Thomas Jr., was once again a bright spot in a loss for the Jaguars.
Play fake. Trevor drop. Looking. Fires deep down the field. Once Brian Thomas Jr. The ball is caught. He got away from the defender inside the 10-yard line. The explosive rookie gives you a first down at the 6-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Oh, my.
Frank Frangie and Jeff Lageman with the call on Jaguars radio. It was a 66-yard catch by the Jaguars' first-round pick, Brian Thomas Jr. BTJ led the Jaguars with 94 yards on the day. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, it's not who we are, you know. I mean, these guys, coaches, players, they work too hard during the week. And listen, you know, that's a good defense. It's a really good defense. Probably one of the best in the league. And if there's a measuring stick, then we didn't measure up very well today. And something we got to look at. And there's too much talent, I think. I mean, there's signs of it, but just not consistent enough.
It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room at Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
So there's your head coach, Doug Peterson. That cut courtesy of Jaguars.com. If you listen to that whole thing, it's kind of interesting because he gives credit to the other team, says that's a pretty good defense, and then finishes it with there's some talent there. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out exactly what he's saying when he's trying to explain why this football team isn't as competitive as it should be.
Yeah, because that's got to be on the coaching throughout the week. I mean, it's your job to get this team motivated.
And then he says they work too hard.
They don't work hard enough. This team is.
He's saying that they work too hard to have this result. I don't get that.
I don't get that either. Because what you do in the week shows up on Sunday. So if that's what you're doing during the week, then you need to rectify it, because that team starts slow. They look lifeless. They have no energy, and they're not executing at a high level.
Other than that, they're pretty good.
Other than that, they're great.
You're hitting the nail on the head, Big Sirs, and it's just like I'm just sitting here trying to figure this out. Like I'm trying to figure out exactly where the blame needs to go, and I do think it falls at the feet of the head coach. The classic line is the quarterback gets too much blame and too much credit. Well, I think he's certainly sharing in this blame because there were plays to be made that he did not make, and then obviously when it came time to crunch time, guys up front let him down mightily by not giving him time to get the ball out of the end zone with that safety.
Yeah, you got to put the feet to the fire to this team. For whatever reason, this team comes out slow and lethargic, whatever it is, and stop coddling them. Mm-hmm. Stop. What do you say? Powdering their butts and burping them. Let them walk. They're grown-ass men. Stop babying and coddling this team. Call it as it is. Hey, we're not a tough and physical football team, mentally or physically. We're not tough and physical. We don't meet the challenge. We saw the same thing in week one. When ATN fumbled the ball, all of a sudden, they shrank. They shrank. All right, they shrank under the adversity, and all the momentum changed, and they didn't know how to address it. In this game, you got a big physical football team that brought it to you, and you cowered and cringed. Instead of meeting the challenge face to face, you cowered and cringed and let them dictate and set the tempo of the game, and they manhandled you for the most part of the game.
One thing I noticed very early now think about this, people. Well, let's make this the 10-10 take, and then you can react to this, because this one kind of drove me a little crazy as well yesterday.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since '68.
They got a game plan when it comes to making sure you're happy after lunch, after dinner. If you have a party, tailgate, whatever it might be, they want to make sure they give you all the fixings and all that great barbecue. Make sure you check out any one of your area Sonny's along the First Coast, and maybe a good rack of ribs will make things feel a little bit better tonight if you want to do that. Definitely think about it. So this is now twice in the month of September, back-to-back years, that football teams have rolled in here with backup offensive linemen starting, and this football team did not take advantage of it. Last year, it was the Houston Texans, with rookie C.J. Stroud having suffered 11 sacks in his first 2 ball games. They roll in here in September, week 3, with 2 backup offensive linemen, and the Jags never get to C.J. Stroud. In this particular game, they did get to Deshaun, but not nearly enough, with 2 backup offensive tackles in that football game. And the other part of it was they even had injuries early in the game, and they had to go even deeper on their roster. And Kevin Stefanski, for my money, out-coached Ryan Nielsen and this Jaguar team by constantly reporting the tackle eligible and having another man inside blocking, where they kept the run game going, and they did not miss a beat. That's the 10-10 take. That has to infuriate Jaguar fans, knowing 2 backup tackles, back-to-back years, and this team has not been able to take advantage.
That's a major letdown too. Absolutely. And when you got a team that's not at full throttle, especially on the offensive line front, and you got 2 phenoms and the guys that we got, and not to get the Cowboys had 6 sacks against this same offensive line and 17 pressures. Yeah. 6 sacks and 17 pressures. They were on Deshaun the whole time. I told you. I mean, there was talk about putting Deshaun on the shelf. He looked so bad and belligerent during that game. And here we go. They're at the house, and Cleveland lost that game at home. You know, they lost that game at home. They're on the road now. We got the clear-cut advantage. We got the crowd noise. We got the anticipation, and we don't utilize it properly. And this team goes out and they do what they did against us, which is an embarrassment, to be honest with you.
So just help me out here. I'm just trying to make sure I do the math. They had backups, and this team had starters on both offensive and defensive lines?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
In other words, they weren't having to go deeper on their depth chart, and they didn't register on the radar?
Didn't.
At all?
Not at all. That's bad business, bro.
It really is. All right, now listen, I love this one off the text line. I have a solution for the offense. Matter of fact, I can fix this offensive line, have Hacker get off the Awaken 180, put a little weight back on, and have Leon teach him how to do the punch. Put him right there in the middle. That's from Nate. Because I'm sure people looking around, and at some point, it does become a little comical. Like you've been wishing and hoping and thinking that this football team had answered some of their problems, and they do not have the ingredients necessary up front to dictate tempo or basically control the line of scrimmage.
They don't. And we've been sold a bag of goods all this offseason. They made no necessary changes. They drafted somebody in the 4th round out of Missouri who's a swing tackle at best. All right. He's not going to have any impact on this team whatsoever. I mean, so he's going to be a healthy scratch. You needed someone in here that's going to change the temperature of what this offensive line is about. And we're settling for these guys in the middle, and they're not getting it done.
And by the way, the inactives included a 2nd and a 4th rounder, both from LSU. I know Jordan Jefferson, you can't expect a whole of a lot, but Mason Smith was inactive. And we were talking about this earlier, just as far as the reporting on it goes, because it came as a little bit of a surprise. Two things happened before this football game even kicked off, and it was Evan Ingram pulling a hamstring, and he was out for the game. And we all know that did not help at all, but at the same time, that gave Brenton Strange an opportunity, and he actually made a couple of catches. And it's not like that was the reason they didn't win this football game, but not having Evan Ingram did not help, that's for sure.
Well, Mason Smith, a 2nd-round pick, a game, the home opener is a healthy scratch. Yeah. That speaks volumes. Something's going on that's not being told, and they don't want to say, because that means they don't trust you. They don't even trust you to dress out. What is that saying about that guy? What's that saying about your draft pick? Right. Where he can't even get in the rotation. A 2nd-round pick, a top 50 pick for the NFL draft is a healthy scratch during your home game opener.
Yeah, and another one was Tyler Lacey. They had 3 defensive tackles that were scratched or inactive in this ball game, and that's 1 4th rounder from last year, 4th rounder from this year, 2nd rounder from this year. And all those things, they do not quite add up. and this is what Doug Peterson basically said, is that it's not what Mason did or didn't do, but other guys had a good week of practice. And we were talking about this in the handoff earlier, and I'm sorry. As much as I could be a fan of Jeremiah Ledbetter when it comes to basically proving that he's got the dedication, the hard work ethic to make rosters, I've not seen Jeremiah Ledbetter show me enough to say, hey, I need to have Mason Smith sit down to make sure Ledbetter is in there. I know that maybe they were looking at Jerome Ford trying to plug up the run game a little bit more, but they didn't do a very good job there.
Bro, you got 6'6". Well, how Mason Smith is 6'6", what, 315, 310, something?
Right there.
Let's give me a 310. Yeah. So you got 6'6", 310 on the bench, and he can't help you in no capacity or the run or the pass.
Something else, man.
Stop it.
Something else. All right, listen, we're going to go from the Jags to something. Listen, I have a news flash, and I don't know exactly how we can fix this, but I believe, if I have this correct, weekends are supposed to be fun. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. You work your tail off for 5 days, and then you get to the weekend, you're supposed to have fun. Saturday, Gators, Noles, a combined 0-2. Lost games in their own house that you may not have expected. Certainly didn't expect FSU to lose to Mike Norvell's old club in Memphis.
I told him to better watch himself.
And Florida, while it was a dog going into this game, they let a backup quarterback come in there instead of Connor Wakeman and take care of business. And then what did you say earlier?
I gave up 310 rushing, bro. I had 52 yards rushing and gave up 310.
So if you're a Jag Gator or a Knoll Jag, you're a collective 0-2, no matter what fan base you're a part of. But weekends were supposed to be fun. What the H happened here in the Sunshine State? Let's hit the weekend rewind, RJ. This was not good.
Now for Florida, DJ Lagway, he obviously has the bigger arm.
Yeah, he has the arm to get it done. Going to crank it up and send it downfield into the end zone where it is intercepted. And that is how the first half will come to an end with Marcus Ratcliffe. Billy Napier was thinking, hey, there should have been a pass interference on this last play.
Yeah.
Billy getting booed is part of the job, but it was pretty loud and pretty intense at the end of the first half. And again, leaving the field, what's that feel like for you? And do you think you deserved a chance to get this thing turned around?
Well, I don't blame. I have no excuse. I have no negative comment about that. I mean, ultimately, when you play a certain way in this arena, you're going to be criticized, right? So this is one of those places where there's history and tradition and expectations. There's been a lot of really good football teams that played in that stadium in the past. When you play ugly ball, and maybe it doesn't look quite like we all want it to, then, hey, it comes with the territory.
No truer words have been spoken by Billy Napier. That one he nailed, and he didn't even have to take that question from a baseman in rural Central Florida, which, by the way, UCF printing up T-shirts left and right on that whole deal, and they're coming into the swamp soon. But, yeah, Billy did not.
Have you ever heard Billy get amped? Have you ever heard Billy get amped in any capacity? None.
No.
He's just that whole way throughout his. I can't imagine that.
I always call these guys, because I take blood pressure medicine, and metoprolol is one of the ones that's just kind of I think it might be a beta blocker where it just slows down your heartbeat.
Yeah.
These are beta blocker coaches, and he's one of them, leading the list. Just no pulse. It doesn't feel like. Meanwhile, up there in Tallahassee.
Another blitz. Uyunglele spins out. Being pursued. Sacked again. Back to the 15-yard line. And this should take us down to the 2-minute timeout. Chance for Florida State. Here comes a blitz. They don't want to give Uyunglele room to get it to the end zone. He'll heave it. It's down near the goal line. Batted down by Memphis, and their sideline explodes. The Tigers, with Julian Barnett knocking it down at the goal line, win it here in Tallahassee.
I tell it to teams all the time, momentum takes one play. I mean, that's it. That's all it takes to change it. And, we just, obviously have had some opportunities that, that we needed to respond in those situations. But I think from their attitude, their approach, even they're in the locker room, we're all disappointed. As we continue to work and continue to pour into each other and the opportunity we have.
All right, thank you.
You cannot make that up. You cannot make that up.
That was classic.
As Mike Norvell, for the second time in 5 years, is off to an 0-3 start. Attention. You got the fire alarm going on. And in the beginning, it sounds like that classic when you throw it in reverse because it kind of feels like it's been thrown in reverse up there. But it was a fire alarm going off, and there feels like there is a fire alarm that needs to go off in both of our college towns, Gainesville and Tallahassee.
They're both in burning houses, bro.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Now, normally we say, hey, the weekend rewind brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville. It's there for fun, but that was no fun for either fan base, that's for sure. So if you do want to have some fun, you can go 3-wheel, you can go 2-wheel, on-road, off-road, or on the water with Cycles of Jacksonville. Check them out on Atlantic, near Regency, or cyclesofjacksonville.com. Man, what a couple of tough ones. Saturday in the Swamp and up at Doak. We'll say hello to our quarterback whisperer coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. We'll talk a little bit about those. And then, of course, Trevor's woes, what's going on, what happened to Trevor Bank yesterday. It's all ahead in the 3 o'clock hour. Joe C., Leon Searcy, RJ, Maddie with the day off today. But we got the quarterback whisperer coming up on a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
Sometimes winning and losing comes down to one play. There's only one performance painting, high-performance play of the game on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and your time at home should be stress-free. The last thing you want to worry about is a clogged drain or your hot water not working. So do what I did and call my friends at Fenwick Home Services. They can replace or repair your home's plumbing systems and fixtures fast. Fenwick offers 24/7 same-day service and can fix any plumbing problem you have. With free same-day estimates and guaranteed repairs, the pros at Fenwick Home Services get the job done right the first time. You can also save on future emergencies with $50 off any repair. Online at FenwickHomeservices.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Think you can't afford to buy a home? Think again. Lennar offers a range of new homes at affordable prices with a simple and hassle-free buying experience. Every home comes with our Everything's Included package, which means you get premium features and upgrades at no extra cost. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 3.99% and no closing costs on select homes when you finance through Lennar Mortgage. Call us at 904-917-2372 to find your dream home today. Lennar, the home for you.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Like to learn how to fly an airplane? Well, you're not alone. High Flying Jacko here, inviting you to listen Sunday morning. We'll start your aviation career with a 60-minute ride on the airwaves of 1010XL. The High Flying Show, Sunday at 9 on 1010XL.
Dailies
Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Dailies Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand-new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Josh Hines-Allen was a monster on Sunday for the Teal and Black. The superstar defensive end recorded 4 tackles versus the Browns and also had a sack in what was a dominant performance. Without question, Allen displayed his superiority on Sunday and is your Superior Fence and Rail's Defensive Player of the Game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
We're back! Mia here, and winning season is back. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions, like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. That's just the beginning, folks. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for your shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, just use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Not to mention, loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. Climb through tiers of loyalty rewards programs to unlock even more epic promotions. Only with MyBookie.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Baker Glass. The Florida State Seminoles have now moved to 0-3 to start the season after their loss to Memphis Saturday 20-12. This start marks just the 3rd time in the last 50 years that the Seminoles have started the year with 3 losses. Head coach Mike Norvell spoke postgame following the loss.
Too many negatives. They did a good job in the first half with some of the pressure packages, and we had a couple turnovers, missed opportunities, drop balls, just mistakes that don't allow to play winning football. And we came out, third quarter, get down, score a touchdown, wherever, move the ball, got in the red zone, need to be able to finish. Had a mistake, there inside the 5 that hurt us. And obviously, not be able to finish there at the end.
Back in Jacksonville in high school football, Bull Snap Bishop Kenny's winning streak coming alive in the second half, taking down the Crusaders 35-28 Friday night. It's 80 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Well, we need security and automation experts right now. I can just guarantee you that. The quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson. Security for the quarterback. Security! Can we get somebody in here? Because Trevor Lawrence, once again, did not have the upfront protection that he needed. And, well, heck, there are a few other quarterbacks we might say the same about. Denny, how are you, man?
I'm good. What a wild weekend, man.
Oh, my God.
Wild weekend of football.
We just played, it's basically became the Sunshine State with Florida State and Duval going 0-3 over whatever 36-hour period, something like that. Just bad all the way around. I don't even know where I want you to start.
It's just bad football. It's not even that they're getting beat. It's just the same thing every single week, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting as a fan. It's exhausting as a consumer of football.
Yeah.
And you know what you're seeing. Like, you know they're too good. Jacksonville's too good to play like that.
Yeah.
Way too good. So then where do you go with that? And that's I think that's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah, I mean, what do you do, though? You can't simulate toughness, especially in this day and age, because of all the rules and all the collectively bargained stuff that they sign for. You can't simulate anything in practice to get this team tougher. The only way they get tougher is that they have to be drilled in certain aspects of what they lack in. And I just think mentally and physically, this team is soft. That's just the way I see it.
Well, we were talking about it at the break. I think the frustrating thing is, as a fan, is you spend the whole offseason going, well, wait a second, I know what I saw, and the offensive line was the problem last year, right? And then you get to an offseason, and they don't really address that problem, and you're like, okay, well, maybe they were just unhealthy, and these coaches want to win. They know something we don't know. And then through the first 2 weeks, you're like, well, dadgum. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's not even – there's a difference in being pressured, and then there's a difference in knowing that one guy on that offensive line every single time is going to get run through. And that's the thing that I think I saw more than anything yesterday. We were talking about a couple of individuals, and I won't throw them out there right now, but literally providing zero force or opposition to the defender, and he's just running straight through and heading straight towards 16. You cannot play football that way.
Well, at least they're consistent. They take turns.
That's true.
They take turns getting run over.
That's true.
Let me tell you something. There's a bunch of upright guys there, and that I don't even know where to get you to start, but at the very least, let's go to the safety play, because this team is now lost by 3 points and 5 points. They gave up one offensive score for 30 minutes of football against the Cleveland Browns in the second half yesterday, one touchdown from Miami in the first half of the first game. So the defense is doing a decent job. But at the most critical time, you either have penalties or fails. And Ezra Cleveland, Brandon Sheriff, you can go down the line.
Yep.
And Cam on a pull just absolutely whiffs on a guy that's 100 pounds less than him. Anyway, it's got to be really, really tough for the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the safety specifically, that's one of those plays where I know when you're watching, you're going, man, you just can't do that. He knows that. He knows he can't do that. He knows that in real time. But those guys are pretty good. Hey, if you're playing the NFL, they're pretty good. They get on you pretty quickly. And so, I mean, it's just it is what it is. It's a failure. As an offense, it's a failure from Trevor's standpoint of taking the safety, especially at that point in the game. You've always got another option, even if you throw that thing away.
Yeah.
But I think in the bigger picture, I think what everybody's getting to, and I think what Trevor said yesterday, he probably said it perfectly, is they're just not good. And at some point, you got to make wholesale changes. You can't make wholesale changes personnel-wise right now, but my opinion, You can go to 16 and you can say, hey, man, what are you seeing out there? And what do you think we should do? Because he's the one that's got to execute it.
Right.
Right. And so a lot of times as coaches, and I will fall into this as well, like we can see a certain thing. We can do a certain we can say, hey, we're going to call this and this is what it's. If your quarterback's not seeing it, it doesn't matter. You look at guys like Trevor. You look at guys like even like Mahomes and what they do with him in Kansas City. They're intelligent and creative people, right? Like they see things in an elite way. You've got to account for the way they're seeing the game, not the way you're seeing the game. What I'm saying is let 16 go. Just let him go.
When you saw a couple of the drives yesterday, when what you're describing was unfolding, obviously whenever they move down the field and they put themselves in position, is that when Trevor's 100% freed up and needs to they need to operate that way more often?
I don't know the answer to that, but I know what I've been watching for the last couple of years, and I know how good I think Trevor is, or how good I really, truly believe Trevor is. He has earned enough confidence, and you've had enough issues that at this point, you've got to make that change to where this offense has to run around Trevor's mind, not just his abilities, but what he's seeing and what he wants this offense to look like. This is his team. They paid him to be his team. Like, this is his team. You've got to give him a chance to succeed and or fail, and I just don't feel like that's happening.
And you know what? It ticked me off when I saw that safety. I'm looking at Mitch Morris and I'm looking at Ezra Cleveland, looking at each other, trying to figure out what happened. Yes, it was both of you.
Yes.
Both of you got split on a double team and gave up the sack. And they're trying to decipher whose fault it was.
It was a four-man rush.
It was both of y'all's fault. Yes.
It was a four-man rush.
Yes.
They did not they didn't stunt.
Nope.
They didn't blitz. It was a four-man base rush. And somehow Trevor didn't have time to even make a decision.
And they had a double team. They were a double team on the guy that split them.
All right, so let's get to the one other one when he was not in the end zone, when he was driving to get in the end zone. And this is where I feel like Trevor either is pressing a little bit, and that's why I want the quarterback whisperer to chime in on this. When he tries to force it into tight coverage with Brenton Strange, is it just because the tight end is one of his favorite security blankets to go to? Meanwhile, Brian Thomas Jr. is open right there at the goal line, and he missed him.
Yeah. I don't know what the progression is on that. Like, if you think about it.
You're trying to take a defender, correct?
So there's progressions to every play. Like, most offenses have pure progressions, meaning I'm going to go to this read first, then this read, then that read.
Okay.
Right? And it's up to the quarterback to decide. Like, if my first read, if I look at it and I deem that to be open, then it doesn't really matter what 2, 3, and 4 look like behind it. I'm going to throw that.
Okay.
Right. And so maybe he thought, hey, I can fit this ball, and there's no need for me to go to Brian Thomas if that was a later read on the play. I don't know the answer to that, but I know that, Trevor has got a ton. And I'm not in here singing Trevor's praises. Let's not get this twisted. He is not playing well.
No.
And at his level, you should be able to do whatever's asked of you. But what I am simply saying is, even in situations like that, Trevor, what's the progression you want to read this? Like, what is the play call you want in this situation? Who do you want to go to? Where do you want to go with the ball? And let's see how that looks, right? I mean, it looks identical to what it looked last year.
No changes.
None.
No. And I'm wondering this, too, because I know that they have individual meeting rooms where the quarterbacks in one room, running backs, wide receivers. And I'm not sure if they do this collectively like we used to do. Offensive coordinators get everybody together, and they give the business to whoever's not playing right. You know what I'm saying? I've been in offense.
Like, dressed down.
Yeah.
In that whole meeting.
Yeah, because I know they do the separate meetings, whatever. But if you collectively get this offense together and show and point out, because I'm telling you something, there's nothing that hits a player harder than when you're getting scrutinized in front of your peers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Being called out for not getting it done collectively. Because there's an offensive line meeting room. The offensive line coach is going to be, this, that ball should have came here, running back should have here. But if you collectively call out guys when they miss blocks, when they're not running the routes hard and all that kind of stuff, the scrutiny collectively has more of a burden on players because it pushes their buttons a little bit more because everybody's hearing that you're not getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they do that or not.
You're causing failure for another human being, which is always a higher emotion than causing failure to yourself for just about everybody involved.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And I mean, that's just something little and minor, but it could be major. It could be major. Because I know it. Listen, I ain't had no perfect games every time I play, but I know if I'm watching the game film as a group, as a whole, and I fall off a block or I miss a block here or whatever, when the coordinator used to call you out on that, it used to tick me off because my colleagues know that I'm not getting it done.
Right. Yep. Eyes are on you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. And what happens the next time you call that play, that protection? I can't do that again. There's a sense of, like, I can't let my team down again because they already know I didn't do it the first time. So you don't want to be deemed the guy that just can't do it. Like, to make a mistake is one thing, but to go out there and get physically beaten every single rep, now you become the guy that just, you're elite at what you do, but you don't belong right there at that time.
Yeah. You are the reason that it didn't go the way. All right, we're going to get to college, but real quick, just staying on this just as far as where this team is at, because I really wish that we could get an idea of Doug, Press. You can even throw Mike McCoy in here, quarterback's coach, and Trevor. You said a minute ago, Trevor needs to be able to say, hey, I like this. Let me see more of this. Is there funk in that offensive play calling, funk in the offensive execution, funk in?
I hope so. I hope when you start 0-2 and you lost, what was it, 6 out of the last 7?
Yeah. Every game Trevor started, he's lost 7 now.
Yeah, I hope.
In a row.
I hope that at this point there are some very uncomfortable conversations when Trevor walks in that place, and I hope Trevor's the one leading it.
All right, good. I want you to say it. Can you pinpoint that, though? Because I can't. I cannot figure out right now for the life of me.
No, I don't think any of us can. But I'll tell you what the pecking order should be.
Mm-hmm.
It should be Doug, Trevor,
right,
then Press, whoever.
Right.
Trevor should be right there. It should be 1A and 1B, Doug and Trevor.
100% on that.
It's that simple. And if it's not that, then it's wrong.
Yeah, because that's the part that I don't get. Like we said, Trevor's not exempt in criticism because he had throws he needed to make in this football game. Now, back-to-back weeks, he's had throws that he needed to.
Let me expand on that one time, because that's not like I'm not knocking on Press Taylor when I say that. I think that should be the flow of things pretty much regardless of where you are. Because that quarterback's the one that's got to go play it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that's got to go do it. He's also the one that largely takes a lot of the blame when it don't get done.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to have confidence, and we use golf analogies a lot because we all play golf.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's holes that I can line up to that you could be a great instructor and you could tell me how to play it, but I just can't see it.
Right.
It doesn't fit my eye.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm just going to play it the way I need to play it to get past that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a perfect world, you don't have to play that hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the point. In a perfect world, I don't have to run this play.
No.
It's not only that I can't see it, I don't have to run this play. Can we replace this play with another one that I see better? And I think that happens in every quarterback room.
I think you said something really important, that we haven't seen much different offense than what we saw a year ago, which I do think is a little bit of a problem. So let's stay on that. We got to get to, what did you call it? Georgia and Kentucky?
Oh, yeah. The fist fight, the bar fight?
Yeah, that's all it was.
It was.
So we're going to get to that one. We're going to get to what we just mentioned earlier with Florida and Florida State. The quarterback whisperer hanging out with us, 641-1010. If you want to hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, you can throw a question Denny's way. If we can get to it, we will.
Let's go. Game day gets here a little quicker with Pre-Game Friday.
Here we go.
Who's in? Who's out? Who's on upset watch?
Exactly.
We'll get you ready for the games. Brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need any special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Mortgage rates have plummeted, and Loan Pronto clients are locking in the lowest rates we've seen in years. Hey, it's Roger Moore, founder and CEO of Loan Pronto. It's happening. We are finally locking APRs in the 5s, something we haven't seen for a long time. If that sky-high rate is killing you or you need to get cash out of your home equity, now is the time to take action. Or listen, even if you want to keep that first mortgage rate intact, you can take advantage of lower rates with our Equity Express line of credit. We're seeing homeowners take 50, 75, 200 grand or more out of their equity and wiping out that high-interest debt with an average savings of $850 per month. Bottom line, your home value is way up and mortgage rates have come way down, making this a great time to act. Call today for a 30-second rate quote. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Hey, there's a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event going on right now at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan's is known for its natural diamonds and gemstones, but we've had so much demand for lab-grown diamonds that now through the end of September, Monahan Jewelers is having a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event. We've brought in a huge selection of lab-grown diamonds and jewelry to meet this incredible demand. Lab-grown diamond sales event now through the end of September at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need help fixing a plumbing issue? Let our winning team go to work for you. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com.
We're back. Mia here, and winning season is back. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions, like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. That's just the beginning, folks. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for your shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, just use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Not to mention, loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. Climb through tiers of loyalty rewards programs to unlock even more epic promotions. Only with MyBookie.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Are you tired of spiders, ants, roaches, or other pests invading your home turf? Call the winning team at Kingfish Pest Control. I can tell you from my own experience, Kingfish will sack mosquitoes, tackle rodents, and intercept termites before they can blitz into your home. And right now, score 20% off your new pest control service when you start during the 2024 football season. Save big and defend your home with Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, a full staff of professionals that have been in this Jacksonville community for a long, long time, and they're ready to answer all those questions. And you know what it's like when you're making big decisions. Well, they can be pricey, but you also want to make sure that you get with the people that can take care of you and deliver on what you're paying for. So if you're thinking about a brand new home, a remodel, addition, you want to look around, it could be commercial or residential, you can trust Preferred Builders. Log on, preferredbuildersjacks.com, and don't forget, if you need a roof, you definitely need to check out preferredroofingjacks.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just Happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, we know that teams that get off to bad starts in the National Football League and beyond, they make changes when they feel like they need to. And this was something that came out earlier, but we got the quarterback whisperer with us, so we might as well bring it up right now. Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick last year, has been benched in favor of the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. Now, that's scary. It's one thing if you got something back there, I don't know, that might be a little appealing, young, developable, whatever. Not old man Andy Dalton, and Bryce Young has been sat down.
It's an interesting situation because that was from what I understand, I don't know this for sure, that was an owner pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's who the owner wanted.
Tepper fell in love with him, and I think that might have been the beginning of the end between him and Frank Reich.
Yep.
And I think you do have a little bit of intel when it came to that part of it. But let me just do this real quick as far as what they got. Okay, this is a reminder of what the Panthers gave up to get Bryce Young. Wide receiver DJ Moore, first-round pick, which was number 9 overall, second-round pick, number 61 overall, 2024 first-round pick, number 1 overall, 2025 second-round pick.
Crazy.
Yikes.
Crazy. Crazy. And I remember because that was the year that Anthony was coming out. And so we were, kind of involved in everything. And I remember when they made the trade, it was so early. Like, why are they doing this? Like, why are they doing this right now? And then you saw how much they gave up, and it was, whoa, crazy.
So, I mean, Bryce is probably on the move next draft next year. More than likely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Justin Fields.
I think they're going to come back to him.
I do too. That's why I was saying that's an owner pick. Like, I think they're probably, hey, man, watch a couple games from the sideline, see if that helps. They'd like to come back to him. But if all of a sudden they look better with Andy, like, what are you going to do?
It's just a tough situation. And
it really is.
He's not the biggest human being.
It really is.
Yeah, maybe they're saving him.
Yeah.
Saving him?
Yeah. He's been getting destroyed, bro.
All right, so let's go to Leon. You set up Georgia, Kentucky, and then we'll get to Florida and Florida
Oh, man,
State.
Listen, with everything that goes on with college football now in the NFL, with the high-flying, down-the-field throws and all that kind of stuff, it was just good to sit back in my lazy boy this Saturday and just watch a freaking fist fight. Georgia, Kentucky was the most entertaining game I've seen in a very long time.
From the first snap.
I loved it.
Was it just me? I wasn't there. I didn't go this week. But on TV, it looked like one of those things where when they went to the coverage and you saw that place and you felt it was like, this is going to be one of those games. It just felt like it from the jump, and it was as physical of a football game as you'll see in the regular season that I think I've seen in a while. And there was nobody was trying to be cute. Nobody was trying to be cute. Nobody was trying to. It was, we're going to line up and we're going to run as hard as we can into each other, and the bigger man's going to win.
I like joking that Mark Stoops is $1 million-to-win coach, but he had that look that you're talking about, Denny. And Kirby, obviously, Kirby probably very early, like you're saying, they went, okay, the atmosphere is different here. We know how tough it is to go on the road to the SEC, but they were a 21, 22-point favorite in that football game.
Yeah, it was a war of wheels, bro. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, for Carson's sake, I didn't love it from that aspect, but I actually think that when you come out of that environment with a win, I thought he played pretty well, like as well as a quarterback can play in that environment with that being the game plan. And when you win that game, that's good film.
The clock accelerated too.
No question.
He had to make quick decisions to get that ball out.
Well, and they both ran the ball so much, and they both ran the play clock so deep that the number of plays that they both ran were really, really minimal. And so it was never going to be a statistics game for anybody involved. But I actually am very much with Leon. I enjoy watching those kind of games, especially in the SEC at night. Stoops has got that thing going on. Kirby's got that thing going on. You just knew neither one of them were going to back down and go, well, we're going to go in shotgun and throw it 40 times. No, they were going to have a measuring contest out there.
But here's the thing: a game like that, like you said, when you come in with a win like that, that galvanizes the troops. That lets you know that you can win in a fist fight as well as throwing the ball all around the field. I mean, it just lets you know that there's styles in fights, there's styles in boxing. That lets you know that Georgia can beat you up.
Yeah.
And stand and hold serve, and then they can light you up if they need be.
Yep.
So,
as a quarterback, showing that range, I think is really, really good. Because I came away from that game going, okay, Carson showed that he can win any type of football game, and he'll do whatever, whether it's throwing for 40 yards in the first half or whether it's having to pull it down and take a hit, he'll do whatever it takes to win a football game. And you're talking about a kid who would have been drafted in the top 5, has everything in the world to protect, didn't care about any of that. Just let's get out of Lexington with a win. And that's what they did. I think it actually showed really well for Carson.
Meanwhile, Connor Wegman was supposed to be the guy that was going to go into Gainesville and lead the Aggies against the Gators, and he had, I believe it was an AC joint injury. And so you could see the number moving the closer we got to kickoff. Really started on Thursday or Friday. Anyway, he was ultimately ruled out. They go to a backup, and this is now back-to-back home games in the Swamp where either Cam Ward for Miami made it look easy. This guy struggled a little bit, but what a hell of a performance.
No doubt. No doubt. And I love Connor to death. Connor is one of my favorite guys on the planet, and I think he's a baller. They were ready to play. I mean, as a team, they were ready to play, and the quarterback was ready to set the tone, and they did it, and they didn't make many mistakes, and they made Florida pay for every little mistake they made. So, I mean, well-played game by Texas A&M. We can talk about how bad Florida is. And
all right, so moving back and forth between the quarterbacks, Graham Mertz, Billy Napier was determined to let him lead and give him most of the snaps. Then DJ Lagway would get in, and then they had the weather. They had all sorts of things working against him. DJ Lagway, I don't know what the total in real time was in terms of the first 6 plays he got to get off, but it was just clunky altogether.
Yeah, no doubt. That's going to be hard. That's going to be really, really hard, especially when you're not winning football games. I mean, you need if the guy's Graham Mertz, then just say it. Say it like I mean, you're
have the stones.
Yeah, you know that your job's on the line.
Yeah.
If you want to go down with Graham, then I'm going to go down with Graham. If you think that DJ gives you a better chance, even with the growing pains that he's going to have, then go that route. I just don't think that this is the way that you approach this.
Bill Parcells said, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you ain't got 1.
Yeah. You ain't Steve Spurrier. You ain't Steve Spurrier.
You ain't Steve Spurrier. No.
And now you're talking about a team. He's 6-11, Billy Napier is, against SEC opponents, 7 straight to Power 4 opponents, including the butt beat by Miami. And 4 of those losses have been in the Swamp.
Yeah.
And we've gone back and recounted the number of how long it took for Urban to lose that many at home and Spur Dog to lose that many at home.
Yep.
Anyway, we know the writing is on the wall if it's not even been stamped by the Board of Trustees. Billy is out. He is out. And so now the decision will be made.
It's not even like a matter of what you think Florida is as a program. Like you can think Florida is at Georgia's level or should be, or you can think they should be at some. It's undeniable that they are a couple levels below where they should be, regardless of where you think that is. Right? I mean, they are bottom 3 of the SEC.
Well, the worst thing you want to be described is a field horse or an also ran. And that's based in the SEC.
Yep.
That's what they are.
Yep.
And so, yeah, if you go bottom 3, you've put them in company with the Vandy's, the Mississippi States of the world.
Yeah, I don't know if Florida ever should be considered. Maybe they should. I'm not saying this to be mean. Should be like a perennial top 2 SEC team. But I know they shouldn't be bottom 3.
Never, ever.
Can't even argue that.
Not with the money that they've spent. Not with the accomplishments that they have. Hardware, titles, trophies, all that stuff. It really is inexcusable. And the thing that's the worst for Scott Strickland is that he has now made a couple of hires. One, Dan Mullen cost himself his job, and now this guy, this is scared money, don't make money. No, they ain't scared anymore. They're going to give you money to walk away.
Right.
Is basically what they're doing now.
That whole thing's crazy, by the way. Yeah. Just the concept that you can get $20-something million to fail to me is.
Yeah. $26 million. And the language is all there, Denny, all there. Okay, so whoever it is, Billy's like, all right, let me get this right. If I sign this and y'all fire my big behind, my Billy Napier behind, I still get 20-some million. Okay.
The Ed Orgeron story.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you want me to sign and what door do you want me to walk out of?
I got no problem with that. All right, on that note, Denny, sign and
all right, boys. Good to see y'all.
All right, baby.
All right, the quarterback whisperer in and out. We always appreciate him hanging out with us. We may hear from Matt Hayes with our takeaways coming up here in just a second. A Mokama Beer Company Monday. It is XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010 XL.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
Pickett here for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJax.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting! This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 16, 1995, Atlanta Braves legendary pitcher Greg Maddux sets a major league record by achieving his 17th consecutive road game victory.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Frank Frangie here, and it's time to beat Big Joe. Each week, my buddy Big Joe from Bono's Barbecue will pick 10 college football games. Pick more wins than Big Joe that week. You'll get entered into a drawing to win a $25 Bono's gift card. If you pick more wins than Joe all season long, you'll be entered to win the grand prize: 2 tickets to the SEC Championship game, 2 tickets to the Dr. Pepper tailgate party, and $1,500. Enter to win on the Bono's app. The contest ends on November 23rd. Grand prize winner will be named on the 25th. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hacker here, and I've got something to celebrate. Honestly, I never thought I'd be able to say this. I'm on the countdown to dropping 100 pounds. Yes, sir. 90 pounds already, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss, and I'm just 3 weeks away from hitting the big 100. The best part? I'm reaching that 100 mark in months, not years. Life-changing and life-saving. No doubt about it. I had pretty much given up on trying, but now I'm going to be here for my son, my wife, my family, and most importantly, for myself. I'm living my life to the fullest, and I didn't know just how easy it was to make happen with Awaken 180. When I hit that 100-pound mark, we're going to celebrate big. I'll keep you updated every week as I get closer, and you can even join in on the celebration. Details to come. In the meantime, pick up the phone and make your own 180. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Frank Franzi here to congratulate my friends at Big Chief Tire. For the 5th year in a row, Big Chief Tire was named the best tire center in Jacksonville for excellence in tire services. Big Chief Tire has served the Jacksonville community for over 60 years with quality tires, brakes, repairs, alignments, and more. Big Chief is known for fair prices and honest service, and they've built a reputation for treating customers like family. Big Chief offers reliable solutions to keep vehicles safe and running smoothly. Visit BigChiefService.com.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson gave an update this afternoon on the status of tight end Evan Ingram.
Evan, obviously, as you know, prior to pregame warm-ups, he's out there running around, getting himself loose for the game, and obviously felt something, in his hamstring, and so it was significant enough to keep him out and hold him out of the football game yesterday. We'll see where he is this week. Optimistic, but we just got to see. Hamstrings can be funny, so it's kind of a week-to-week deal right now with him.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Well, my takeaway is that this team is in a heap of mess. 0-2 is not a good start in the NFL. And guess what? There's no one on the bandwagon. It's empty. All you got is yourself now. Somehow you got to find a way to turn this thing around, and you got a tough task at hand. The next 2 weeks, you got on the road to Buffalo, on the road with Houston. We're going to find out a lot about this team in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, my takeaway is sponsorship opportunities. I'm all for them. You know me. I like to broker a good deal. But that whole Trevor Bank thing, upon reflection, maybe not the best time to do that. So I'm trying to think of what's worse, that promotion gone awry, or if you're a Gator fan in the swamp and you got to go through basically an hour weather delay, knowing you're going to get your butt beat when you go back out there. And that's basically what happened for the Gator fans, is they went from, I want to say it was right there, right in between quarters, but knowing that you're going to hold on, wait for the weather to clear, and then go back out there and then just get stomped. And they ended up losing by 13, 20-0 at the half. So, yeah, pain all the way around. And, of course, like we said up in Tallahassee, Mike Norvell with now twice in 5 seasons starting 0-3. And it's just the stuff that I think, as many have said, these fans, they're all diehard. And I talked to some yesterday, Leon, that said they spend 5 figures to attend Jaguar football games. Think about that. 5 figures to attend Jaguar football games. And they look so forward to being there and soaking it up and having fun. And then they get that. And when we talk about Shad Khan basically describing this at the end of last year as an organizational failure, top to bottom, it kind of looks like, once again, like an organizational fail from top to bottom.
Absolutely, it does. And I got something even worse than that, Joe. It was a 6-year-old kid and his father that had never been to a the kid had never been to a Jaguar game before. First time ever. And I sent him to that. I sent him to that. I had to apologize at the end. But he said, "Oh, no, Leon, he had a great time." I was like, That is not what I anticipated.
Yeah, that's. Hey, listen, we have joked, and I feel terrible for that. How old? 6 years old.
6 years old, bro. Never been to a Jaguar game before. First time ever. And I had this. He had to go and watch that debacle.
Because we have talked about this before. There have been kids that were born, made it all the way to high school, maybe even made it to graduation, only seeing this team get to the postseason once. And so
they've been around all the bad, ain't they?
yes,
Gosh,
they
that's
have.
terrible.
And that's the last thing you want to see. And so, all right, so let's do a couple things here before we're done. And this is a question off the text line. Are we seeing the same thing with Doug and Trevor that the Eagles saw with Wentz? Got to let Trevor lead the team and play the game, but we aren't letting Trevor off the rookie leash. And so, I can come at this a number of different ways. Trevor has share in this blame. Doug obviously has share in this blame. You can blame play caller and probably back up that argument as well. But there's so many pieces and parts to what has gone wrong. And even defensively, they've held two teams to 20 points or less. They still have given up big plays at the worst possible time. They've gone through that bend but don't break, and they just let Deshaun Watson lead that team down the field to the tune of owning the ball basically 2 out of every 3 minutes in the ball game. And so there's blame to go around. And how about Cam Little? Okay, they say, hey, Little is his name. Leg is he's got a long leg. No. He misses one that obviously could have made a difference in this ball game.
The most frustrating thing about it is, Joe, is that they gave us as badly as both teams played. Deshaun still tried to give us the game. When he threw that ball,
yes,
it almost was a fumble. It looked like it was a fumble because he did hit his arm and they let it loose. When he threw that ball with those, I said, this is it. We're going to go down. We're going to score. We're going to win this game. I mean, as badly as this team played against a team like the Browns, we still had opportunities, missed field goals here, missed opportunities, touchdowns called back, all that kind of stuff. You just can't have it. I mean, you just can't have it. And you first of all, you got to score touchdowns to win in this league. You can't keep settling for field goals. You get it within the red zone. You can't keep settling for field goals. And you got to play hard and consistent from start to finish.
All right, let me give you another one because this is again. I guess this is towards the end of the show where we will just kind of be and moan and cry in our beer a little bit. And we're here for you fans. We know that you're feeling the exact same thing, but they threw out the sack totals of a bunch of teams after 2 weeks of football. As an example, Chiefs have 4 sacks, Steelers have 4 sacks, Titans 4, Colts 4. The Jaguars actually have 5, and that's pretty good. So the Jaguars have 5 sacks this season. 49ers, Seahawks, they all have 5 sacks this season. Aiden Hutchinson has 5.5 by himself. And what did Aiden Hutchinson do yesterday? He went off. When Trayvon Walker, and this is, I don't care what anybody says, this is going to be a constant narrative. Those were the top 2 picks in a draft playing the same position, asked to do the same thing, and we were looking forward to Trayvon Walker coming out of the box hot this year, gets a couple sacks this past week, and then with 2 backup offensive tackles, he nor really anybody else were able to get to Deshaun Watson enough to affect the game like Dallas did the week before. Dallas throw those numbers out.
That can't happen. That can't happen, especially when you got 2 backup tackles. Aiden Hutchinson has 5.5.
Yeah.
Right now, he's on pace to be Defensive Player of the Year.
So, look, that's a guy that Detroit lost their football game yesterday. It's not like they won.
They lost to Tampa,
and Baker Mayfield, for his work right now, they're starting off 2-0. He's balling. But Aiden Hutchinson is one of those guys that you when you draft that high, you need a force that is pretty constant, one that you can count on. And we can go down the line with all the guys that have been drafted either at the top or very high in the draft that you need every single game to get something out of them that helps turn the tide in your direction.
He's relentless. He reminds me of Max Crosby.
Yeah.
That kind of guy.
And heck, Max was, what was he, a third, fourth rounder?
Yeah.
And that guy is relentless.
Yeah.
And those are the types of guys that you absolutely need to see when it's all said and done. So the next 2 games, and we'll be spending time, I guess the one piece of good news is that you're not going to be 0-3 until Monday night as opposed to Sunday. You get another day to have to live with 0-2, and then they go up Monday night to take on Josh Allen, who already has made people believe in the Bills again, even though they lost all their, or not all, but a lot of their players, either to free agency or injury or whatever. The Bills look red hot right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know too many people that are going to be picking Jacksonville against Buffalo going up Monday night in that atmosphere.
I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I haven't seen enough fight in this team. And you're going to have to go to Buffalo and fight and win this game. And I haven't seen any fight in them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the type of game where there's got to be some resiliency on the team. There's got to be some resolve that enough is enough. We need to find a way to win the game. I don't see it happening, but if somehow this team can get back to 500,
I would love it. Look,
but it's got to be better than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Are they capable of it? I don't know. You have to ask them. Yeah. I'm not on the field. I'm not in the meeting room. I'm not in the weight room. That's all on them.
But you know what you see, and you know what it felt like when you had a standard that you and your teammates needed to live up to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've never been 0-2 before, but I've been down losing streaks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been down 2 and 3 game with losing streaks, and we just had to buckle up and get back to work and get back to being.
You had to start Club Nate back in the day.
We had to. Sometimes you got to have a little Club Nate in your life.
Well, and so I think the mental and the physical toughness, both of those are being questioned, and the sharpness, basically the collective, the come together, everything on this football team is being questioned right now with good reason.
Mm-hmm.
They need to prove that they've got something in that locker room among the 53 and with that coaching staff that will change people's minds about who they are.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, listen, they're saying all the right things in the presser. You know, listen, those 2 words are prophetic. We suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
facts are facts.
Yeah, and basically, until they change other people's minds, they're going to have to change the narrative, the belief inside that building before they can change anybody else's minds. And look, I feel like they've got enough pieces offensively to go out there and get something going. They do have big play capability in them, but Brian Thomas only getting 4 targets is a concern. The fact that they had more run plays than passing plays against Miami and still did not come out on top is a concern. And then you would have thought coming out of that first game with all those positives that you would see more consistent run game, more success.
Mm-hmm.
Tank Bigsby did not get off to a very good start, then ended up getting hurt, and you couldn't count on him as the game unfolded. Travis Etienne made a few plays. He definitely made a few plays, got in the end zone. But Christian Kirk, when he had the 1 touchdown, they had the illegal shift call, which is something that's brand new in terms of the level of times it's being called in these games. But still, it was a penalty against the Jags when they were in the end zone and had a chance to take control of a ball game, and it did not happen.
So sad, Joe.
0-2, and I'm going to go to the embedded and shredded and see if you can make sense of it all.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
I heard Trevor blank. I heard Trevor stank. I heard a lot of different things yesterday playing off at the Trevor Bank. And I looked to Hayes Carline for, I don't know, some form of hope. Is there such an animal?
I mean, there's 15 of these things left, so, maybe they can go 10-5 in their last 15, but they're not showing a lot of signs of that.
That's what Johnny Harbaugh said, we'll be judging our next 15.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you go back to the fact that where would this team be right now if Etienne doesn't fumble at the 2?
Yeah.
And if they beat Miami, are they able to find that win yesterday against the Browns? But look, he can't. I mean, that's all great. Maybe it's in there. But it's time now, and obviously you've dug yourself quite a hole having to now go to play at Buffalo on Monday Night Football. So it's a real problem. I mean, look, they're 1-7 in their last 8 games. I mean, they're tied with Carolina for the worst record in the league during that time frame.
Yeah,
way too much talent on this team to be in that conversation. Way too much investment from ownership. for this to be the product. And yeah, they're close, but boy, offensively, they're just a mess. They're 28th in points. They can't get a third down to save their life. They're 31st in sacks allowed when you look at the percentage there. So, it's just the early indication is that a lot of the things that they hoped might be better without really putting resources in, like the offensive line, just hasn't been there. I like the defense. I think the defense, you'd like to see them start forcing turnovers, but I like what I'm seeing there. Offensively, there's not a lot to really hang your hat on right now because it's I've heard you guys talking about it and you're dead on. It just, with every play, it almost seems like there's somebody that says, okay, as they break huddle, all right, is it my turn to have the devastating mistake? Okay, it's my turn? Okay, good. It's like you just can't get all 11 guys functioning properly and executing at the same time. And look, this is professional football, so if you can't do it, you got a problem. So, again, they've got time, but it's got to get fixed now. I mean, they've got to go to Buffalo and beat the Bills. It's not an impossible task. They can do it, but they've got to do it. You cannot come home 0-3 and have even a remote expectation that this season is going to be in the tournament. You're already 2 games back of Houston.
Exactly. The AFC South is 0-6, and Houston's 2-0. All right, I was going to let Leon ask this question, but just having said all that, I'm just going to steal his thunder. Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it Lane?
I think it's got to be the plan A and obviously the first call. The problem with Florida with that is, and this is just in a nutshell, like if you're Florida, you need Ole Miss to win because you want Kiffin to stay as sort of the hot candidate, so to speak. So Ole Miss has a terrible non-conference schedule, so they're getting 4 wins out of that. So they're not going to finish 6-6. But you kind of need them to come in at like 9-3 and barely miss the playoff because he's not going to leave if they're in the tournament. I mean, there is no way he is going to take that public backlash and say, yes, I'm taking the Florida job, but I'm here, throughout our playoff run. You can't do it. If you're in the mix for the national championship, you can't leave. You can't talk to another school. So Florida's in a tough spot because you need Kiffin to win enough to stay as the hot candidate.
Yep.
But if he wins too much, can you wait until January to hire your coach and basically forego a recruiting class? That's the kind of
big stuff,
gamble they're going to have to, they're going to have to ask themselves. So we'll get into all that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll break down, obviously, yesterday's disappointing loss to the Browns. Bucky Brooks will join us at 5 o'clock to talk all things Jaguars. So we always enjoy that. So it should be as fun a Frangie Show as we can have with the Jags, Gators, and Knowles a combined 1-7.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Yes.
All right, man.
Take care.
Appreciate it. You don't want any Lane.
No Lane.
You don't.
No Lane in Florida.
Yeah.
No.
You don't want.
I'm rooting for Billy now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. He's a Napier. He's a Billy backer right now. All right. Listen, we're done. We had a good time. We appreciate all y'all. That's for sure. And collectively, this is how we get through it. By being together, as much as it sucks right now. But we're done. Mocama Beer Company Monday. We say thanks to them. Don't forget, look for them on the shelves, ABC and Total. And, of course, up there in Fernandina Beach and Wildlight, Mocama Beer Company. Joe C., Big Sirs, RJ. We'll have Maddie back with us manana.
Yeah, we suck right now, so I don't.
Scared money don't make money,